7?
Sì.
842.
Ok.
It is a rock complex of 4 contiguous churches. It dates back to the 13th century, Romanesque style. The house of the keeper of the 4 churches, completely excavated. The vault made of stone, the floor, the bed. The same bed was dug out of the rock. On the right there was the stable because animals slept next to people. Up there the chimney for the fireplace. And to collect rainwater. Here the smoke channeling because here there was the kitchen. Now the house is intercommunicating with the first church, but originally they were separated. There was a wall, and that was the entrance door of the house. This was the church of San Primo.
St. Anthony's Convicinio includes 4 ancient churches: St. Prime, St. Matthias or Annunciation, St. Donatus, and St. Anthony, connected by a wide courtyard. There was a vat in there, and then the wine would, trump the grapes, the wine would come flowing out there. We should get up in there and stomp the grapes. After they filled up all the vats, they would then roll them down the steps to the coldest, darkest place to mature. That's all that's left of the frescoes. It's a better view of the church nave. That was used as a sundial because it faced the window. Needless to say, there were no Apple watches in those days. What is the name of the second?
Annunciata Church, dating back to the 12th century. Originally there was one nave. You can see a very simple church. The graves, the transformation into wine cellar, and the rain system to collect rainwater, and a Byzantine fresco. But the Byzantine fresco is desis. In Greek, desis means prayer for the dead. And the desis is the presence of Jesus Christ between the Holy Virgin and Saint John the Baptist. Byzantine style, flat images without any perspective, halos surrounded by seed pearls, wide open eyes, and if you look at his hand, you can see 2 fingers. 2 fingers are the reference to double nature of Jesus Christ, divine and human, and it is the Greek blessing. On the contrary, the Latin blessing is 3 fingers. Up there, a crucifixion dating back to the 13th century. On the right, instruments of Jesus Christ's Passion.
The tomb of a Benedictine monk.
It was century.
The 16th century Holy Virgin with Child.
Sitting on the throne. See?
When it rains, all the water goes down into the ravine. So that was just for the light. And this church is St. Donato.
14th century, and the Byzantine style, the mitre because he was a bishop, the halo surrounded by seed pearls, wide open eyes. There was the name Sanctus Donatus. Another rain system, other frescoes which present
and these are from the 13th or 14th century, the frescoes?
These ones are 16th century.
They're 16th century.
Cross. The lily cross was the symbol of the Angevins, the family of Anjou, the French, La Fleur de Lis. And we can see a political symbol in a church because the Angevins were close to the clergy, so they were Catholic. In the 13th century,
Another place is they transformed them later on. They used the churches as a winery. Roll the old barrels. Roll out the barrel. And in St. Donato, they had 2 holes for the wine to come out. The thinking was there was a wall in between so they could separate red from white wines. Instead of using nails in those days, they used an animal bone, which would calcify and become strong. Just when you think you've seen it all, you haven't. You could see the original sea level was all the way up to here millions of years ago. This last church is St. Anthony, protector of animals, and instead of facing east like the others, it faced the courtyard so people could bring their animals for blessing.
4 pillars. The lily crosses, 2 lily crosses, 1 and 2. The cross vault, the barrel vault. Grapes, transformation into wine cellar. The vats again. And here you can see St. Sebastian's
Being
martyrdom.
pierced with his arrows.
16th century, so yes, with the arrows. He looks like a woman because he was very young, but you can read the Sanctus Sebastianus. In Latin, ex voto means thanksgiving. When a peasant needed a good harvest, he begged the Holy Virgin. If the harvest was good, he thanked the Holy Virgin by commissioning a fresco. That's why you can see a peasant work the fields, the Holy Virgin between 2 angels. In the background there is a landscape. Landscapes are unusual in frescoes, so this is unique. 17th century. Here there was a fresco which was stolen in the 70s. San Sebastian too. The Son of the Holy Spirit.
The 3 fingers in that one.
This was a Latin church, a nave and 2 aisles.